He's bouncing off my booty cheeks. I love the way he rides. Hello everyone and welcome to my first ever shit talking session on this channel. Now I want to apologize in advance if your favorite albums on this list, because it might be the last video you'll ever see from me if that's the case. But you know, I can't lie. If it's ass, it's ass. I'm sorry, okay? If it's ass, it's ass. I can't just lie and say it's good. Now I just want to say really quick, as always, it's all my opinion, so don't get too worked up over it or anything. It's not that deep, okay? Just because I don't like, fucking Post Malone or some, you don't have to go after my ass and fucking track me down or some shit. You don't have to do any of that, man. Come on. It's just my opinion, alright? So, it's not that deep. Now, I do want to make it clear that this list is in no particular order. So just because, X is number 1 doesn't mean it's the worst album or the, least worst album of the year. Anyway, let's get to the first album of this list. Number 1 on this list is the Red Dead Redemption parody album by Post Malone, F1 Trillion. Now, well aware that this album has no association with the games that I know of, it fucking sounds like it. Like, for example, the first fucking song is a Red Dead Redemption fucking ripoff. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. Tell me this shit doesn't sound like something out of Red Dead Redemption, bro. Come on. What the fuck is this? Now, I want to make it clear, I do not hate Post Malone, but holy shit, this album is trash. I'm sorry. It's trash. It's literally Red Dead Redemption parody music paired with cookie cutter bland fucking pop melodies, pop ballads. Everything bad about pop is on this album, bro, and it's combined with redneck music. Come on, man. And as someone who likes Post Malone's older stuff, even the Toothache thing he dropped like last year or 2 years ago, and even though it's pretty obvious that he was gonna switch to country, this shit was so ass. It even caught me off guard, bro. As I said in my review, shout out my album of the year page. As I said in my review, he fully embraced the white redneck stereotype on this fucking album. And all I can picture from that is fucking Tom McDonald, but instead of trying to be a rapper, he's your average fucking racist country singer, bro. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this album is just bad. It's just full of generic country songs, generic pop songs. Even if you like country, this shit will put you to sleep, bro. Either put you to sleep or just make you lament to yourself like, holy shit, this is terrible. Why am I listening to this? Like, next up on the list, we have Nitrous Oxide 2 by Lil Uzi Vert. I'm not joking when I say that, by the way. This is actually Nitrous Oxide, the album. Tell me this doesn't sound like someone high on fucking Nitrous Oxide, okay?
Oh, that's good. I get high, right with my thoughts.
Like, when he first announced that this album was in the works in that one street interview where he was literally like fucking high off his mind.
Rate your outfit from 1 through 10 and let me know what you're wearing. I got I'm cooked, but I gotta drop Return to Atake.
Just from there, I could already tell this album was finna be trash, right? But as someone who loved the first installation of this series, like the first Eternal Take, holy shit, dude, this actually ruined my day. This was so bad. It has some of the worst songs I've heard in my life, period. Not just for Uzi standards, but in my life, period. It's fucking terrible. Like, for example, let me show you some of what I mean, right? Like fucking Pars in the Mars, where the fucking oh yeah, hi. What the fuck was that, bro? It sounds terrible. Oh my god. There are some highlights, I guess, from this album. I do like the second song, like the Lightyear song and the Chill Bay, and I do find some of the songs to be pretty vibey, right? Like, Perky Sex. Yeah, I like Perky Sex, okay? But holy shit, it does not make up for how trash everything else is. Listen to like check this out. Like this song, the last song on the album, which is supposed to be the fucking outro, Space High.
Hi, how are you doing? I'm Lil Uzi.
Oh my god, it has the worst beat I've ever heard. Oh my god. It's actually so bad that it's funny at some points, which I guess, would make it enjoyable in some sense, but it's just terrible. I can't. It sounds like ass. Not to mention, aside from the production, there's still, the lyrical content, and even that's pretty bad. Like, he literally has a song about getting chips and dipping. Like, I don't know if there's a metaphor missing or something. What the fuck does that even mean? He has a whole song talking about how this girl he likes is stinky. I don't know if I'm missing a hidden meaning or something, but as far as I know, this is not what Eternal Take's about. Like, the first album is way different from this in terms of quality. This is just terrible. It's just a terrible album. Next up on this list, we have The Party Never Ends by Juice WRLD. Now, this one is actually pretty sad. I can't, talk shit about it like it's Juice's fault, because it obviously wasn't. It was his fucking label and that fucking fat bitch Lil Bibby. It's just sad, man. This album is just sad. Like, it's sad for the wrong reasons. It's so bad that it's sad. Like, how could you disrespect someone this hard? Someone who had achieved a lot of success when he was alive and cultivated such a cult-like fan base, and they just threw it all away for a quick money grab. And here we have The Party Never Ends. The fact that the best song out of this album is a song released for Fortnite says a lot. Out of thousands of unreleased Juice WRLD songs, they decided to pick the most dull and uninspired sounding ones. They're just mediocre. It's just mid all throughout. There's mid, and then there's the occasional really bad songs like the Fall Out Boy one and then the Kid Laroi one.
While the world falls apart, still dreaming of your broken heart.
There's of course the song with Eminem and Nicki Minaj, which was just not necessary. Man, you know, Juice WRLD fans are really fucking annoying. And even for someone who finds his music corny, like, this is too much disrespect, man. What did he do to deserve this? To deserve this level of disrespect from the grave, he's still being robbed. He's being robbed from the grave by his own fucking label, by that piece of shit Lil Baby, man. Oh my god, it's just sad. But to be fair, there are some highlights on this album, especially like that one part on KTM Drip where he said, I told her racist ass dad that she...
Hey, dude!
Alright, now, this next one's gonna piss a lot of people off. Actually, the next two will piss a lot of people off. This might be a bad idea, but I don't care. I have to be honest, right? The next album on this list is The Death of Slim Shady by Eminem. That album is hot garbage. I'm sorry. It's fucking corny as shit. This album is basically corny, the album. It's terrible. It's just corny. It's just corny. For example, everything discussed in the album, all the subject matter, all the and the production choices on this album, they're outdated as hell. Like, fucking listen to this beat, bro. What the fuck is this? This is some shit I would hear when I was 5 years old. Like, this is fucking terrible. And not to mention, like, him trying to piss people off by talking shit about Christopher Reeve for some reason. Bro, name one fucking guy in today's age that even remembers who Christopher Reeve is. Like, I remember him. Like, you know, as someone who likes Superman, I know who he is, right? I respect him. For the average person or the average listener, they won't know who the fuck Christopher Reeve is. He just made that his personality for the first half of this album, just shitting on Christopher Reeve. Like, is that supposed to piss us off? Like, we don't really care, bro. And you could say the same thing for how hard he tries to bait for Gen Z rage. Like, he tries to rage bait Gen Z so hard for some reason. Like, trying to cancel me, yeah? Gen Z me, bruh. What? Bro, we don't give a fuck. We really don't care. We don't care about what you're saying. No one cares, bro. He's literally talking to a brick wall. He's trying to bait nothing. And you know, there's always his fucking dick riders and glazers who are like, oh, but that's the purpose of the song. It's supposed to be bad. It's because it's irony. It's sarcasm. Blah blah blah. Okay, listen. You still said that the song was bad either way. You still admitted it was bad. The song's bad. The album's bad. Like, there's no defending that. It's bad. It's just bad. You can't just you can't pull something out of your ass to justify that it's bad. It's bad. No matter what you say, it's bad. And even you know it's bad. Not to mention the fucking the whole Gen X rise thing that this album brought out. Oh my god, it's cringe as hell, man. Everything about this album and everything this album did for the rap, you know, the rap community and the mainstream in general is just cringe. This album's the embodiment of corny and cringe. And you know, I gotta mention that fucking Toby song he released as a single. I almost died from that because it gave me such a huge cringe attack. I actually cringed so hard from that song.
Toby Maguire got bit by a spider, but see, me, it was a goat.
As soon as I heard the beat, dong 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 dong, Toby Maguire got bit by a spider, but me, I was beat by a goat. What the fuck? But you know, compared to the next album that I'm about to speak about, it honestly doesn't sound that bad, which gives you an idea of how bad the next album is. And this next album is gonna piss even more people off. I just know, because the fans of whoever made this next album are insane, and I think everyone knows that. And now, next on our list, we have tortured privileged white girl from the fucking suburbs who was born into wealth and yada yada yada, but she's still tortured and she still suffers. Bitch, you were born white and rich. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna hold back on the hating on this one, because low-key I feel kind of bad. I've been shitting so much on this lady. Honestly, I hate everything she stands for. But this video isn't about shitting on her, it's about talking about what she dropped this year. So I'm gonna focus on that. But if you want a video of me shitting on her, that's easy. I'll probably do that without even anyone asking me to. Like, even if you guys told me not to, I'll still do it, because that's something I do want to do. But yeah, this album is pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. If you're a sane person with a level mind and someone who has listened to other stuff before, you can tell this album's bad, bro. Like, even for Swifties, you know, even for some of the Swifties, this album is still terrible. Like, she says a bunch of fucking nothing. All she does is talk about how much she's a victim when she was brought into this world and like the music industry, blah blah, Scooter Braun, whatever. But then there's, you know, the usual, I hate my ex, the same fucking ex, for the same ex she has been hating on for the past like fucking 10 years. Basically, her entire discography has been talking about this one fucking guy. Basically, this album is the story of how a rich white woman was born into privilege, but yet she tries to paint herself as a victim. Oh my gosh. The whole album is bland pop ballads with the lyrical content of a spoiled white girl who's, you know, born into such a privileged lifestyle, but still wants more, still has a lot of shit to complain about. And the whole branding of this album just feels wrong, man. Like, fuck you mean tortured poets department? You are not tortured. You're not a poet either, bro. Like, calling yourself a poet is a fucking insult to every poet who ever existed on this planet, bro. Even I would call this an insult to Netspend, bro. Like, the fact that you can call this poetry, it literally offends everyone in the entire music industry, because this is not poetry. Come on, man. You call this poetry, then what's everything else? Does it on the same level or similar level? No. And you know, there's that one line that went pretty viral this year. Something about, you know, you wouldn't last a day in the asylum I was raised in, or some fucking robotic ass dumbass shit like that. It's just embarrassing. You've had a career for how many years and you still can't move on from the same subject topics, and you still have the fucking audacity to call yourself a victim? Come on, man. But yeah, this video isn't a video about Taylor Swift or her fans, even as much as I hate both of them. It's more about what she dropped this year, which I really thought was insensitive and out of touch, and just, you know, sounds like it was released by someone with a stick up their ass. Anyways, enough ranting, enough hating, alright? Because that's for another video. Now onto something more lighthearted and more fun than, you know, these past few albums where I've gotten pretty heated, not gonna lie. We have Vultures 2 by Kanye West. Oh my god, this album also deserves no explanation. It's honestly just, what the fuck, man. It's like, words can't describe how sad I felt when this first came out. I remember so vividly. I was in the library and then he just fucking dropped it out of nowhere. And dude, when I heard that shit, I was gonna cry. It was so bad. I was finna cry in the public library, bro. I will never forgive this album for how it made me feel when it first came out. It was actually terrible. Like, this album is just filled with bad decisions. Like, okay, I want you to compare the original version of this song with the release version we got when it first came out.
Time moving slow. Time moving slow. Reach for the popcorn. Oops, that's my cock. Time moving slow. I just thought you had to know. Time moving slow.
You see what I mean, right? Like, what the fuck is that beat? What the fuck is that beat? It sounds like schizophrenia. And just as a side note, that beat was made by Cruza, who I can confidently say is the worst fucking producer on this entire planet. Because you know what else he has produced? Fucking bomb, bro. Oh my god. He's actually the worst producer on this fucking planet. Honestly, he's the worst one. If I could see him right now, I could probably punch him in the face for how badly he fucking massacred this song and the fucking trash he has put on this planet. Yeah, low-key, this album is basically just a massacre of every song from his original leaked version. Like, when it first came out, mixing was all over the place. Everything sounded ass. And I remember when it first came out, the last song on the album, My Soul, well, you could only hear it in one ear. I'm not joking. It was panned so far to the left for some fucking reason. You couldn't fucking hear it, bro. You couldn't hear it in your right ear. Like, there's still videos up now of people reacting to it when it first came out, and oh my god, the confusion on their faces. But that's like the least of this album's problems, because the biggest problem with this album is it's fucking lazy. Literally most of the song, no, not most, I'd say like half of the songs here are fucking AI. Like, you can't explain that. It's not good AI either. Like, look, listen to this.
Dude haven't got a penthouse that I can rent out. I can see Rick James with his feet up on Prince's couch.
Dude haven't got a penthouse. In addition to the hooligans, which were the people who, you know, said the go 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 part of Carnival, he also released the album as extremely unfinished. Literally most of the songs when it first came out, it was unfinished, especially like that 5:30 song, where the entire second half of the song was just mumble.
I don't know what's left of us. Right now, left of us. Trying to write what's left of us. Trying to write what's left of us. Wanna know nothing us. Wanna know what the red of us.
Even though now it's fixed, it's still trash. I'm gonna be honest, because it was fixed with AI, and now the entire song is AI. That's not even good AI either. Listen to this. Listen to this, bro.
Them last words were but shown. That last dates was but shown.
But low-key, not every song is bad. I do like Promotion and My Soul. I do think they're pretty fire. And River was low-key like the best song too, until he removed the harmonica from the outro. You see what I mean? It sounds so empty and dead now. It's just, Why did he do this? It's just bad decision after bad decision. It's terrible. You know, this album single-handedly turned Kanye into a joke. Honestly, I don't take him seriously now. And he's still my GOAT. I love his old music and everything, but I just can't take anything he releases nowadays seriously. You know, this album single-handedly tarnished his reputation. He's a fucking joke now. Video on that coming soon, by the way. I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole of fucking Vultures 2 memes. It's actually like sad but hilarious at the same time how far he has fallen from grace, but that's for the next video. Alright, now this one is a really unpopular opinion. I know people love this album and people say it's a good album or whatever, like, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this album. I don't like this album at all. The next album on this list is Bando Stone and A New World by Childish Gambino. I'm sorry, I don't like this album. It sounds like a fucking newbie trying to replicate Yeezus. Like, I don't like it. It's just, it doesn't work at all. Like, in my opinion, it's a hot mess and a dumpster fire. Like, it sounds like a terrible attempt at trying to be experimental and, you know, artistically all over the place, if you get what I mean. As well as Yeezus-esque, you know, with that fucking intro song, which still gives me nightmares, by the way. What the fuck was that intro track? It sounds like fucking ear rape. And it is ear rape. It's fucking terrible. This album in general is just very unfocused, you know, like that fucking KSI album all over the place. And, you know, it doesn't have the songs to back up how all over the place it is. Like, sure, I do love some of the songs here. I love Daytonia. I love the Survival song with Chloe or something. But most of the album is just mid-rap songs. Either mid-rap songs or like mid-singing, you know, like just mid-guitar ballad, pop ballad singing. Why is everything so sleepy and generic on this album? It's so generic, yet it tries so hard to be experimental. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like in an attempt to be experimental, he ends up making the most generic and fucking boring and mediocre music in his entire career. And that's coming from someone who loves his music, by the way. I love Ala Vista, Because the Internet, and what's that one with the Redbone song? I forgot. It's the one with the fucking scary face. But you know, this album was just bad in my opinion. I feel like this was a huge miss from him. But you know, it's just my opinion, alright? Don't get so worked up about it. As I said at the start of this video, it's just my opinion. Next up, we have the legendary DaBaby with his fucking 2024 mixtape. How the fuck is this a mixtape? I was asking myself the same question too when I listened to this fucking dog shit of an album. This album is essentially, you know, the usual DaBaby, uninspired, same old flow, repetitive bars, repetitive subject topics, repetitive beats. Everything's repetitive, everything sounds the same. It's your usual DaBaby shit, you know. He still talks about being horny as shit, falling in love with women because they're booties are big. That's basically 90% of what he talks about on this mixtape, and it doesn't sound good to justify talking about the same horny shit over and over again.
I'm outside with at least 3 hoes. My bitch fine, I don't need these hoes.
It just sounds awkward and it just sounds uninspired and lazy. Like he can't be asked to come up with anything else of substance, so he just keeps talking about how he wants to fuck big booty. And this album is also filled with endless attempts to replicate that Shake Some song he had in like 2023, which kind of blew up because of that one guy on TikTok. And you know, that song in of itself is already pretty bad. Like it's just, you know, your usual TikTok club song bait.
I don't know how to dance but can lean and make the ghetto bitches put their hands on their knees. Make the ghetto bitches put their hands on their knees. Make the ghetto bitches put their hands on their knees.
This mixtape just shows me and everyone who listens that he does not give a shit anymore. He knows he has fallen off and he just gave up. He's like, oh, yeah, I fell off already. I give up trying to rap or trying to like be a hard rapper or anything like that. Like he just gave up. He doesn't even talk about, you know, the stuff that made him blow up in the first place, like all that gang shit and being tough and like, you know, the type of shit that someone who shot a guy at Walmart would talk about. Instead, right now he's, I guess, stuck talking about booty because that was his last semi-successful song. Now this next one is actually pretty special to me because it's the first ever review I wrote on Album of the Year. Because of how much it disappointed me. It disappointed me so much. I had to write about it to talk about, you know, talk about my feelings. I was so fucking distraught from how disappointing and mid it was. With how well he delivered his collabs with, you know, Metro and like, you know, the We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You era. I expected this mixtape to be like some hard shit. Like I expected him to go rap his ass off, right? Like on some the Wizard shit, or like maybe DS2 is a bit of a stretch, but you know what I mean, like that hungry Future that, you know, still has that dog in him for the lack of a better word. You know, unfortunately he released Laziness, the project. Like it's just lazy. Like there's no features. It's uninspired in production and lyrics and delivery, as well as the subject matter. It's just the usual same shit. Just he doesn't talk about anything. It's just boring. is mid. This mixtape is Future at his most mid. Like, he's never been this mid before in his career, because I've heard everything he has dropped until now. It's so uninspired, and it's just, it screams of someone who's been complacent in the rap industry, that, you know, he just doesn't care anymore, because he doesn't need to. People are still gonna listen and buy his shit. Like, no one, he doesn't need to. I really hope that he would return to those prime Future days on the Wizard or PS2, or even What a Time to Be Alive. He did go pretty hard on that album. And not to mention, PLUTOSKI is a joke of a song. I don't know how people find the appeal of listening to a man moaning. Like, even now, there are people who fucking glaze this song. It's the only reason I can see people liking the song is because it's so bad that it's funny, but people genuinely find it hard. Like, I do not know how. It's fucking Pluto moaning and whining like a baby for the entire fucking song. Even Cardi can't mumble like this, bro. What the fuck was the point of that song? Moving on to the last album on this list, we have Vultures 1 by Kanye West, aka the album that signified the fall of my goat and one of the goats of rap in general. This album is the horniest fucking album I've ever heard. Why is he so horny on this album? Literally every song he talks about wanting to fuck. He has a song talking about wanting to fuck. Not to mention, he has an entire verse repeating the same fucking line about how he wants
Beautiful big titty but naked women just don't fall up the sky, you know.
Come on, you can't make this shit up, man. You made fucking Devil in a New Dress, you made Runaway, you made fucking Yeezus, you made Graduation, you made The College Dropout, and you dropped this shit like this, bro? You made St. Pablo, bro. You made No Parties in LA. What the fuck is this? Like, this is terrible. It's so horny, and it's so lacking of that substance, nuance, that creativity, that passion, that inspiration that made Kanye great in the first place. It's missing everything. It's just Kanye at his laziest, until of course Vultures 2 dropped. That one was peak laziness, but this, at a time, this was like peak laziness. This album is basically a prime example of bad decisions as well. Come on, like, you telling me you replaced Quavo's verse on Fuck Some with fucking Alvin the Chipmunk, bro? Come on, man.
Shit, I'm tryna fuck some right now, split this good GC. Shit, she said slut me out, she just wanna suck my dick.
Baby, don't keep me up. Yeah, keep me up. Don't beat me up. Yeah, beat me up.
What's his obsession with Alvin the Chipmunk? There's literally Alvin everywhere on the Vultures albums. Like, why do you like Alvin so much? He sounds fucking retarded. Objectively speaking, this album has no real theme or cohesion, but honestly that doesn't matter, because the album doesn't sound good in general. The mixing is all over the place. Like, remember that fucking Problematic song? It's like 60% louder than every other song on the album.
I feel like I be the murder.
It's so loud. Why is it so loud? And of course there's that fucking Aldi's line that has become a meme now. Oh my god, this album just, it's such a tragedy. He completely massacred faith in him as a good artist, you know? Like, that Kanye brand doesn't mean as much anymore. How can you fucking talk about Hitler and start your anti-Semitic arc and then come back with an album like this, bro? Come on, you can't just make an album talking about sex for fucking 16 tracks and then, you know, have some lines about Jews and stuff and, you know, expect it to be good. Like, come on, Kanye, you know you're better than this, bro. You made The Life of Pablo, bro. Come on, man, what the fuck? But yeah, guys, that's it from me. These were my top 10 worst albums of the year in no particular order. I'm sorry if I offended you or if my opinion made you upset. It's just my opinion. Like, it may be unpopular with some, it may be popular with many, I don't know. It's just my opinion. Don't get too, you know, hung up over it. The next video I'll do will probably be about the whole Kanye thing becoming a fucking meme because of Vultures 2 and the Aldi's thing. It's just funny to me. I really want to make a video on that. It's funny as hell. So yeah, if you guys want to see that, or you just, you know, like my opinions or like how I deliver my opinions or talk about my opinions, you know, subscribe please. That would be really nice. It'll make me really happy. But yeah, it's just my opinion, guys. See you in a few days when the Kanye video goes up. Goodbye, see ya.
I'm good from state to state. You go to the state, you might get raped.